Good afternoon. My name is Kelly Lamb. I'm the Vice President of Marketing here at Mila. Welcome, willkommen, bienvenue. Many of you are at home, safe with your families, and we encourage you to continue to do so. Nonetheless, a lot of you still have a lot of questions for us about products that you already own, how to use them, how to maintain them. Some of you have questions about buying products from us, and you just have a couple more questions about the purchase you're thinking about making. But also, many of you are interested in the continued service that we're providing here in Canada during these challenging times we all face. So with that, we're really excited to be live with you here at Mila Live. It's our second week. And this is really about the opportunity for us to continue to provide the services you expect from Mila. The sessions will cover various topics from dishwashers to Mila laundry machines to our various cooking products. And this week, we're going to get into a lot more detail in regards to those separate categories. Pour ceux d'entre vous qui ont demandé pour des sessions en français, on est en train de travailler d'avoir des sessions dans les semaines qui viennent. With these sessions, again, for those of you that joined us last week, it's really fully interactive and live. You can post questions via YouTube Live if you've logged in that way, or if you are watching us on milalive.ca, in the comments box at the bottom, you'll be able to answer, to send us questions, and we have a team here that's going to be sharing those questions with us, and we'll try to answer those live. Again, we are going to try to service you as best we can during these challenging times, but we really do encourage everybody to remain home safe with your families. So with that, I'm really excited on a Monday morning. What better way to kick it off than with amazing coffee? So we have our product expert, Dean, here with us. Dean,
hi, Kelly.
Welcome. And we're going to do a bit more of a dive into more details into one specific model this time in regards to our countertop coffee machines. Last week we covered off a more general overview,
That's right.
Which you can view online at our Mila Canada YouTube channel. But Dean, I'll hand it off to you to start with the specific model we'll cover today.
All right, well, thanks very much, Kelly. And thanks everyone for joining us online today. Really happy you're able to join us. I think, it's just past 10 a.m. on the West Coast. We're heading into early afternoon in Ontario, where we're filming today. And I think probably this is kind of the time of day where everyone might be thinking about their midday coffee. So what better time to talk a little bit about our countertop coffee machines, and specifically today, our top-of-the-line CM6350. So if you had the chance to join us last week when we provided an overview of our lineup, we were mentioning how at the entry point of our countertop coffee model lineup, we've got the CM5300. And then in the middle here, we're showing our CM6150. So in this particular model, this is where you're going to be stepping up to having a larger water container. You're going to be having a larger hopper to hold the beans. And you're also going to be having the ability to set up customized profiles. So when we move up to our top-of-the-line CM6350 that we're going to be talking about today, some of the extra things you're going to be getting with this model is, first off, you'll see that the finishing is more premium. So right here we've got the backsplash in a more of a stainless steel finish. The other thing that you'll notice is that it's a polished stainless steel finish on the dispenser versus a brushed finish. So a little bit more of a premium, shinier finish. This particular model also has brilliant LED lighting, so it's really going to stand out and look quite nice on your countertop. And up here, you've got an active cup warmer. So this is going to be great. You're going to be able to warm up your cups before you put the coffee in there, which is really going to help maintain that temperature.
Yeah,
and
because I think that's one question we get a lot, Dean, is customers saying, my coffee's not quite hot enough.
Yes.
And sometimes it also has to do with the temperature of the cup that, if you really do have a cold cup that you're dispensing the coffee into, it will drop the temperature of the coffee that's going in. So that's a great function to have.
Yeah, it's definitely going to maintain that temperature. The temperature settings, it's all about the temperature that it's dispensed at. So whatever we can do in terms of warming the cups is just going to help maintain that temperature as you're drinking your beverage. So a little bit about this machine. What we'll do is we'll focus in on exactly how would you use it. So if you were to take this out of the box today and set it up, we're just going to walk through some of the things that you'll want to do in order to make your first perfect cup of coffee with it. Perfect. So Kelly, what we're going to do is we're actually going to make a coffee for you.
Perfect.
And it's going to be set up under a profile just for you, and it's going to have all of the parameters set exactly how you like to drink your coffee. So the first thing we're going to do in order to be able to do this is we're going to set up a profile for you, Kelly. So on the far left corner of the machine, there's the power button. So I'm going to press the power button, and it's going to turn on the machine. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create that profile. So down here, there's a bar of buttons, and one of the buttons looks like a person. So if I press this, that is going to be my profile button. And in here, because this is the first time we're setting up a profile, the only option for me is to create a profile. So I'm going to press OK. And so now I'm going to enter Kelly's name. So using the up and down button, I'm able to scroll over across the letters. And I'm going to press OK when I hit each letter that I want to select. So I've got the K. And we'll just go through Kelly's first name here. If you have to scroll all the way across, so for example, I'm at A and I want to go into the middle of the alphabet to L, I can actually just hold it down and it will speed along. Or you can press individually. And I'm going to speed all the way along to Y here. OK, so I've spelt Kelly's name here. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to back my way up. Until I get to the check mark. And the check mark is essentially OK. So when I'm on the check mark, I will then press the OK button. And I now have up here, we can see I have Kelly's profile all set up.
Perfect.
So the next step is within Kelly's profile, these machines are able to make a multitude of different coffee beverages. So just to give you a sense of what beverages it can make, we've got some very easy icons up here. So we've got an icon here, a small cup for espresso. We've got a larger cup icon, that's for coffee. We've got one here, the icon has a bit of the crema, this is the cappuccino. And the icon with the layers, this is the Latte Macchiato. So from Mila's understanding of what consumers like to drink, these are the more popular drinks. So we've made it very easy with an icon and a button to be able to create that drink with just the press of one button. However, these machines can make more than just the 4 different types of beverages. So if I click down here, we can actually access additional programs by pressing this square icon here. So the full list of beverages that the CM6350 can make, and in fact all of our countertop coffee machines can make, we can make a ristretto, coffee americano, cafe latte. We can also produce hot milk, so this is great for hot chocolate, for example.
Yeah, absolutely.
And milk froth. And also one of the premium features with the 6350 is that you're actually getting a hot water spout. So great for making tea or any other needs for, perhaps baking where you might need a cup of hot water. So this is the hot water dispenser here. Another really great feature that really sets our machines apart is that you're actually able to produce a cup or a pot of coffee as well. So these machines are not just for making an individual serving, but you can actually make a pot of coffee up to 8 cups.
Which is great for a dinner party where not everybody has to wait for a single cup, and you can prepare that. That's a great function to have.
That's right. And finally, in here also, you can access all of your maintenance tasks, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So Kelly, how about we set up a latte macchiato for you today?
Perfect. That's actually my favorite drink.
Great. OK, perfect. So in here, I am going to select. Actually, we're going to go to this bean icon here. And this is where we're actually going to set up the parameters. So I can see that I'm still under Kelly's profile. Right? It says Kelly, so I'm going to then hit my parameters here, and it's going to bring up that list of beverages that we just reviewed. And I'm going to scroll down until I hit Latte Macchiato, and I'm going to press OK. And here's a little tip that I would suggest for you. There's a number of different parameters that you're going to be able to customize to be able to make the coffee beverage taste exactly how you like it. And the first one in the list is portion size. So this is going to help determine exactly how much volume of beverage you'd like based on the size of your cup. What I would suggest is that you actually leave that parameter for last. Okay? So we're going to go over a couple of other parameters first to make sure that we are making the coffee exactly how Kelly likes it. So the first parameter, Kelly, is the amount of coffee. And I'm able to choose between 6 different levels. Yep. And the more coffee we put in, then the stronger that the taste is going to be.
So I like my coffee really strong,
okay,
to be honest. So I would go for the full-on 6.
Okay. So I'm going to select amount of coffee. And it's going to pull up, and it's going to ask me to set the amount. So I'm going to increase that all the way up to the max.
Perfect.
Okay, and then I'm going to press OK. All right, so we've set the amount of coffee exactly how Kelly likes it. Brew temperature is another parameter that we're able to select. And we've got about 5 different options here. So Kelly, we can choose between the minimum brew temperature, the low, medium, high, or maximum.
Maximum, please.
OK, so we're going to select maximum temperature. All right, the next parameter to select is pre-brewing. So with pre-brewing, what this will do is when it grinds the bean, it will produce a puck. And if you have the pre-brewing selected, what it will do, it will dispense some water into that puck, and the water will sit there and brew for an amount of time before it actually is dispensed. This is going to increase the flavor profile and the intensity of the coffee beverage. So Kelly, the options that we have here for the pre-brew is we can have it off, or we can choose to have it on and have a long pre-brew or a short pre-brew.
Let's go, because I really like intense, bold flavors, let's turn it on and let's go long.
OK, sounds good. So I'm going to scroll down to pre-brewing long, and I'll select OK. All right, so if we go down here, we have now completed all the parameters in here except for one, and that was the one that I suggested that we do last, which is the portion size. One other parameter that it's actually not built into the programming, but is actually more of a mechanical adjustment that we're going to want to make before we do this, is the fineness of the grind of the coffee bean. And so to be able to do that, what you do is you just open the side door here, and what you'll find, it's going to be hard to see it on camera, but there is a dial here, and it has 5 different levels of fineness. So Kelly, if I were to guess your taste preference, because you like a strong, bold cup of coffee, I'm going to set this to the finest grind.
Exactly.
So the finer the grind, the stronger the flavor profile. And if you make it on the more coarse side, then it will be a bit of a weaker coffee. So totally up to your preference, 5 different levels. So I'm going to set that to the finest grind. OK, so now we've reached the very last parameter to choose, and that is portion size. So we're going to go through this, and for those that enjoy a latte macchiato, we know that there's 3 different elements to it. So we have our hot milk, which will be dispensed first, followed by milk froth, and then a shot of espresso. So this machine is going to allow us to customize for Kelly exactly how much of each portion to be served into this cup. So what we're going to do is we're going to select. Before I do that, we're going to have to set up, because this is a milk-based beverage, we're going to have to actually set up our flask of milk. So with the CM6350, included in the box is a stainless steel thermal milk flask. This is 500 milliliters, and it's a really great accessory to have because it's insulated. If you're entertaining and you want to be able to have the milk out on the counter for easy access to the machine, it's going to stay cold.
Perfect.
The other thing you're going to need is our milk pipe. And so if we open up the side door again, It's going to be hard to see on camera, but right here is where we have our milk pipe. And there's a special place just to hold it in there for nice, neat storage. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one end and you're just going to insert it into the top of the flask. If you don't have the flask, so perhaps you've purchased one of our 6150s or the 5300, no problem. What you can do is you can insert this into any kind of container that you're holding your milk in. So whether it's a carton or your own flask, you would insert that into that container. And on the dispenser, what you'll find here is that if I pull this all the way down, there is an outlet where you'll insert the milk pipe. The other thing that you'll notice there is that with my hand, I was able to manually adjust the height of the dispenser. So the great thing about this is, depending on the height of your glass, and everyone has different heights of mugs because they come in different styles, you'll be able to customize the height of the dispenser. And what you want to do for optimal coffee and to be able to retain that temperature, because when the coffee comes out of the dispenser and is exposed to open air, that's what's going to cool it. So what you want to do is you want to bring the dispenser down just above the rim of your cup. Okay, so now we're finally all set. We're with our coffee here and our milk set up. So we're going to now determine our portion size. So I'm going to click OK on portion size. And right now we can hear the machine is grinding the bean. And it walks me through everything that's happening. It's also preheating the water right now.
And Dean, you mentioned about the milk flask on the 5300 and the 6310. Can we buy those separately?
Yes, we can. So on Mila.ca, right now it's going through the hot milk dispensing. So what I have to decide here is how much do I want?
So I'm going to trust you.
Okay, sounds good. So I think for Kelly's size of glass here, I'm going to stop it right there, okay? So now it's saved and it remembers under Kelly's profile for Latte Macchiato to dispense that much hot milk. So now it's moving on and it's telling me that now it's dispensing the milk froth. So again, I'm going to be able to customize how much milk froth to dispense for this serving.
And I do like a bit more froth than normal, so that's...
Great. Okay, so in that case, we're going to let this keep going up here a little bit. And I'm going to say that's probably good because we need to make sure we save room for the espresso. Okay, so now it's doing the pre-brewing. So if you recall, Kelly likes to have a pre-brew. So it is doing that long pre-brew that we selected. And momentarily, we're going to start to see the espresso being dispensed.
Sorry, Dean. So while that's dispensing, so for the milk flask, customers can buy that on Mila.ca.
That's right,
correct?
Yes. So we sell this flask separately, so you're always able to purchase it if you have one of our 5300s or 6150s that does not come with it. And I'm going to stop the espresso right there.
That looks pretty good.
There we go. So it has that signature layered look, and it's really nice. We definitely recommend for the Latte Macchiato that you serve this in a glass cup so that everyone, your guests and yourself, can just enjoy not only how wonderful it tastes, but also how beautiful it looks.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that walks you through how you would set up the profile, all of the parameters to make the perfect drink.
Now, Dean, question for you. Say we have different people in the household that like the same drink. Are they able to set up different profiles for a same drink?
Yes, yeah. So these machines, the 6150 and the 6350, both have the option to set up profiles. And you're able to set up 4 different profiles with the 6150 and the 6350. So 4 different members of your household can have their own profile. And what's important to remember is that within each profile, you are also able to select the specific parameters for each drink. So Kelly can have different parameters for a cappuccino versus a latte macchiato versus an espresso. Right. So when you actually think about all of that programming power that's within our machines, it's quite impressive because it's remembering approximately, let's say, about 8 different beverages times 4 different profiles, it's remembering specifically how to make about 32 custom beverages, all programmed into memory.
Great.
So that's how you would prepare. Going to go through a few other things that I think are really important for everyone to know about. The first off is maintaining the machine. So in terms of maintaining the machine, if you select this square icon here, this is the icon that you'll press if you want to get your full list of beverages. One thing that you're able to access in here is not only all the beverages, but also maintenance. And if I click on maintenance, there's going to be a number of different maintenance tasks that I can do. Mm-hmm. And I'm able to do these whenever I feel that I want to do them. So some of them, for example, rinse the pipework. Miele, our super automatic machines are really known for making maintenance of these coffee machines very, very simple and very easy. So for example, for rinsing the pipework, it's as simple as disengaging the pipe from my milk flask and just entering it here so that it can rinse this pipework and the water that is rinsed through it will end up in the drip tray. So that's just one example. You can rinse the pipework. Now, about every 7 days after you've made your last milk-based beverage, you are going to not only rinse this, but you're going to need to actually clean it. Right. And Miele sells a consumable specifically for that. And it comes in a box like this. It's called Cleaning Agent for Milk Pipework. It's available on miele.ca. And inside this box, you're going to find individual packets. And that is what you're going to use to clean the milk pipe. And the great thing about this machine is that not only is it smart enough to prompt you and remind you to do this maintenance if you have not already done it within the 7 days since the last time you made a milk-based beverage, but it's also going to walk you through step-by-step exactly what to do. So it makes maintenance very, very easy.
Well, and I think, team, we're very transparent with our customers that you do have to maintain the machine. Yes. In order for it to really work at its optimum to last, there's a bit of work that needs to go behind this, like any other machine.
Yep, all super automatic machines are going to have the need for maintenance. As you can imagine, with just the press of a button, it's producing a pretty complex beverage. So it is going to require some maintenance, and I think that's what really sets Miele coffee machines apart is just the ease of the maintenance. Mm-hmm. So this is one of the consumables for cleaning the pipework. There are 2 other consumables that you're going to want to have on hand if you own one of our machines. And I should mention that when you purchase one of our countertop coffee machines, inside the box does come with a starter amount of all of these consumables that we're reviewing today. So the next one is, this is what we call descaling tablets. And these are going to be needed in order to descale the machine. And descaling is essentially cleaning up the corrosion that happens from hard water. So in terms of how often the machine is going to prompt you to use the descaling tablets, it's going to depend on a couple of things. First off, how often you're using the machine and how many beverages you're making. Also on the water hardness in the community that you live in. So there's 4 different levels of water hardness. So if I go back to my maintenance, so I'm going to scroll through and select maintenance here. Descale is where I'm going to select in order to start the descaling process. Okay, so this is one of the tablets that you'll need, and in this menu button here, there is water hardness, and if I select water hardness, I'm able to choose the setting that matches up with the water hardness that I have in my home. So that's the second one that you'll need. And the third one is cleaning tablets, and these are for degreasing the brew unit. So one thing I haven't shown yet is where to access the brew unit and what exactly it looks like.
And for the descaling tab, for those of you that actually have our other Miele appliances like the steam oven, or combi steam oven, those are the exact same descaling tablets you would use to maintain those products as well.
Right, so there's some nice synergies across the line, so you don't have to have separate consumables necessarily for every appliance. So in order to access the brew unit, you just open up the side door again. And on Miele appliances, anyone that's familiar with them, wherever you have a yellow or an orange lever, it means that something is adjustable. So on this brew unit, there is on the side a orange lever, and if I turn that, I'm able to easily pull out our brew unit. There's that lever that I was talking about. This brew unit, day to day, what you're able to do at any time is just take this over to your kitchen sink and give it a rinse. Every 200 servings of coffee, though, the machine is going to prompt you to degrease the unit using the cleaning tabs, and it is going to walk you through step by step exactly how to do that. And this is just how you would just slide it back in, so very easy. And once it's in, you just turn that lever, and it's back in place. So that is the maintenance side of the machine. And I'd also like to mention that something that we're very excited about is the fact that I'm just going to, so the machine is going through an automatic rinse right now, so we're just going to set aside the
Don't lose my coffee.
Macchiato, yes, we didn't want to.
That's for later.
Have it rinsed, but you can see right now it's rinsing the machine, and it's got a drip tray in there, so you don't have to worry if you don't have a catch container in place, it's not a problem. All of that water that just was rinsed is now inside the drip tray. And so I'm just going to disconnect the water or the milk pipe here, and I'm going to show you the drip tray. So if I just move the dispenser up to its maximum height, and I can remove the front of the machine, and the drip tray can easily come out. And this is the great thing about Miele machines, is just how accessible and easy everything is. So the drip tray essentially has 3 different components. It has right here a container that holds all of the used coffee ground pucks. So when the bean is ground up, it's created into a puck in order to make the drink, and the water passes through that puck. And then it will just dispose of that used puck into this container. So very easy, you're able to just empty it into the compost. It's also great for gardens.
Gardening, yeah, a lot of people use the grinds for gardening, so that's...
Especially this time of year with spring here. And this is dishwasher friendly. Then with the drip tray, what you've got here is you've got a lid on the drip tray in order to prevent any kind of spillage or splashing. And you're able to take this over to your sink and just empty it. And Miele has made this very actually ergonomic.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a little, like everything's covered but that little area to drop the water off, so you're not worried about spilling as you're walking.
That's right.
Sink. That's great.
So there's a cutoff triangle at the back corner, and so you're just able to easily pour the water out from that triangle into your sink.
So Dean, I know you were going to start mentioning, but so as good as a cup of coffee is what you put in the machine.
That's right, yes. And so Miele is, our motto is immer besser, which translates to forever better. And we are constantly striving to make the outcome of our appliances and how people use them better and better. And so it was a natural evolution for us over the past year to launch our own line of Miele coffee beans, to be able to go specifically and pair best with our machines. Our lineup of coffee beans are all organic, fair trade beans, and we've partnered with a really reputable, long-standing private roaster in Germany to roast our coffee beans. And we have 4 different varieties within our offering. The first one is Decaf. So if you are a Decaf drinker, we have a Decaf whole bean that you're able to purchase. These are all available on miele.ca. And also we have one that we call One for All. This is going to be a fuller body profile, very, very popular. We also have Cafe Crema for those that like a lighter roast. And we also have an espresso bean as well. So that's going to be great if espresso is what you enjoy to drink the most. They're all 250-gram bags. And we're really excited about it. By all means, you're able to use your own coffee beans if you choose, but we're really excited to now be able to offer you a complete solution with the machine and also the beans.
And while you're at home, again, easiest way, go on Mila.ca. You can order these. We will ship these directly to you. So it's a really easy process. Dean, let's take a couple of questions because time has really flown by. So one question is coming from Tuscany Dreams. And the question is, can you set it up to start in the morning?
You can, actually, yeah. So if we go to this menu button here, and the machine, it's sensing that I didn't properly put the drip tray back in place. So I'm just going to do that like this. And then I'm going to press my menu button. And if I go down in here, there's something I can select in the settings called timer. And with the timer, I'm able to set the timer. And I can set the timer on this machine to turn on at a specific time. I can also set it to turn off at a specific time. So for example, I may want to have it set so it turns on at 6 a.m. on weekdays, for example. That way, when I wake up in the morning and want to make my coffee, it's going to make the preparation faster because it's already turned on and ready to go. So you can decide when you want to have it turned on. You can also choose when you'd like it to be turned off. So perhaps in my household, everyone is up and out of the house by 8 a.m. So I can have the machine turn off at 8 a.m.
That's great. So another question we have is in regards to using ground coffee beans. So first of all, can I use ground coffee beans? And if I can, do I need to empty out the bean container before using the ground coffee bean?
So that's a really good question. The answer is yes. So if you prefer to use ground coffee, if that's what you have in your home, by all means, you're able to use it in this machine. So the way that will work is the 6350 comes with a ground coffee scoop. And what you'll do is you'll take 1 scoop of your ground coffee, and there is a ground coffee chute right here. And you'll put 1 scoop in here. So that's the only thing that's important to note is that if you're going to use ground coffee, you're going to put 1 scoop in for each serving every time you make a serving of coffee.
But that's great for an option for that one person that wants decaf or wants a flavored coffee. That's a good way to go around that.
Yes.
Versus replacing all the beans.
And the machine is really smart, so it will know if you have put a scoop of ground coffee in there, as well as having beans in the hopper. It's going to ask you, would you like the beverage prepared from the ground coffee or from the whole bean?
So Dean, we're going to move on to another question. So we have a lot of questions coming in. Unfortunately, if we're not able to answer you during the session live, we will be sure to post the answer to your question via the comment section, or if it's a more detailed question, we will email you directly with the answer that you're looking for. So the last question I think we will take today is, can I operate the coffee machine in a different language? Canada, we're such a multicultural country, and so is that available, Dean?
Absolutely. So again, in the menu icon here, if I press this, just have to finish. I was still selecting their coffee stuff, so I'm going to go settings again. One of my settings is language. So if I press OK here, I'm able to scroll down, and I'm able to choose from over 25 different languages are in here.
Wow.
So a very wide variety of languages. And it's actually really impressive because not only are you able to select the language, but you're actually able to then select the region where that language is spoken. So for example, if I choose English, I'm able to choose then Canadian English, Mexico, New Zealand, Singapore, South Africa, USA. So it's very, very detailed and amazing, for especially in a country like Canada where we are so multicultural and there are so many languages spoken.
Well, that's great. Well, I think unfortunately due to time, we won't be able to get to all the questions you've asked, but again, we'll try to get to them as soon as possible. So to wrap this session up, thank you for joining us. Hopefully we've given you a much more detailed explanation behind our CM6350. Dean, what else do you have for our viewers that are out there right now?
Sure. So we really appreciate you joining us today for this live stream session. And so what we wanted to offer was a promo code that will be in effect until 2:30 p.m. this afternoon for all of you to purchase. So in terms of the coffee beans, we have a promo code which is Mila Live Beans. And if you enter this into Mila.ca when you order coffee beans, you will get a 15% discount. Also, on the purchase of our machines, so today we were speaking specifically about the CM6350, but also applicable to our full lineup of countertop coffee machines, is a promo code for $100 off your purchase, and the promo code is Mila Live Coffee.
Perfect. Thanks, Dean. So again, we want to thank you for joining us. Some of you have had questions in regards to are we still operating? What services are we providing? So during this time, obviously, we are following very strict guidelines as set by our provincial and federal governments as well. But for those of you that may have bought or thinking about buying one of our appliances online, a dishwasher, laundry, so we are still offering Mila delivery service, Mila installation service, but there are strict guidelines that we follow. We encourage you to go on to Mila.ca and find out exactly what those processes are, but our teams are there still to service you. For existing customers that are asking about technical service, again, our Mila certified technicians are available to support you, but again, with a more streamlined guidelines, which are again outlined on Mila.ca. Be sure to tune in again for new topics that we're going to cover with Mila Live. Dean will be back later this week as well, covering other topics. We're going to revisit coffee and cover different models as we head forward. At 5 o'clock this afternoon, Eastern Standard Time, we're doing our first live cooking demo that's going to be fully interactive with you again, featuring our steam oven. At 3 o'clock, we have another session that's going to happen in regards to dishwashers. So again, be sure to join us there. Milashop.ca, so for those of you that still are interested in purchasing your detergents, consumable products, dust bags, coffee beans, coffee machines, go on to Mila.ca. Our Mila shop is open 24/7. We're still delivering straight to you. As well, if you're thinking about gifts during this time to share with your families that are still celebrating birthdays or anniversaries and you want to celebrate it with them, we have the Mila e-gift card that makes a perfect, easy gift that can be sent virtually to as a gift to your family or friends. So we want to thank you. Again, remain safe. On behalf of the Mila family, we also want to make a call out to all the frontline workers that are out there, whether providing us all the medical assistance that's needed, keeping all of us fed with takeout food, groceries, deliveries. We want to thank you for providing that service to our community. And again, we wish you all the best. Enjoy your day. Be safe and enjoy the time together at home. Thank you.